Fox Sports.
We are Fox. We are Kinsler.
Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by
Bell Tire.
Over the last 2 weeks, there has been no hotter Tiger than Victor Martinez. Since April 23rd, a .349 batting average, 5 extra base hits, 10 RBIs, and a huge game last night in Game 1. Gorgeous night for baseball. Welcome to the Bay Area. We're in Oakland tonight. Game 2 featuring the Tigers and the Oakland Athletics. Hi again, everyone, and welcome to Tigers Baseball. Mario and Pemba alongside Rod Allen. Glad to have you with us here for Game 2 in the series. Great start to the road trip, Rod, for the team, but also Victor Martinez. Pretty good ball game last night for both.
Well, Victor Martinez is a professional hitter, and they continue to shift on him, and he continues to beat that shift every step of the way. But the huge story in last night's game had to be Michael Fulmer. He was in beast mode. He threw over 100 pitches, over about half of those 95 miles and above. He was nasty last night.
All right, how about Jim Adduci? This guy has really gotten it done. Adduci was called up, of course, to give the Tigers a little bit of relief in the outfield. All he's done is perform.
Well, he's been balling. I mean, in 10 games, this guy has been getting hit after hit, a lot of extra base damage, too, and the Tigers couldn't have envisioned him helping out the offense this much. Take a look at the numbers. 343 in the 10 contests he's been in. The OPS is way up there. He's also driving in runs, and he's also extending innings. This guy's a professional hitter, played in Korea for a couple of years, cups of coffee in the big leagues a few years back, but man, he's playing like a seasoned veteran right now.
And that is good news. So is the fact that Jordan Zimmerman takes the mound tonight for the Tigers. His last start, a little bit of tweak in his rotation, his motion, his arm angle, all of a sudden, pretty good results.
I was encouraged by his outing, and so was he, and I talked to him the day after that, and he said that's probably the best he's thrown the ball since last April. That's how well the ball was coming out of his hand. He had some swing and miss stuff that day against a pesky White Sox team. The fastball, the changeup had action on it. The slider had some nice depth to it, and he was able to get some swings and misses, and that's the first time in a long, long time we've seen Jordan Zimmerman get some swings and misses. Let's hope that he can pitch as well tonight as he pitched then against this Oakland Athletics offense, which is struggling.
All right, Game 2 of the series coming up just minutes away, but right now we send you back to the Call Sam Studios. Check in with Kristen Keith. Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by Comerica Bank, a part of Detroit and the community since 1849. And by Dodge. Visit Dodge.com or your local dealer today. Another beautiful night for baseball here in Oakland as we welcome you back to the Coliseum. Tigers fans filing in tonight. Here's the starting lineup for the Detroiters. It is presented by the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. It'll be Andrew Romine at the top of the lineup again for Kinsler this evening. Castellanos and Cabrera in the top three. Vimart, Upton, and Avila doing the catching. You got Collins, Aducci, and Iglesias rounding it out. They're facing the right-handed offerings of Jesse Hahn. He is presented by the MGM Grand Detroit.
And he's got some pretty good numbers. Take a look at his numbers in 4 starts this year. The ERA sits at 2.53. He has not gotten any run support whatsoever. That's why he's lost a couple of games. Hahn's got a fastball that gets up to 95. He also has a slider. He'll throw you a curveball about 20% of the time, and he has a changeup that he works well. 4 pitches to his mix. Let's take a look at the Oakland Athletics defensive alignment behind Hahn. They've got Decker, Davis, Joyce in the outfield. Rosales and Lowry in the infield up the middle. Healy and Alonso on the corners. And Stephen Vogt is the catcher tonight.
Defense brought to you by Tim Hortons here this evening in the Athletics. Playing some baseball that, well, it's been below medium, that's for sure. They came in having struggled on the recent road trip, winning just 2 games. They lost to the Tigers last night. Bob Melvin hoping his team can turn things around tonight, but the Tigers have other ideas.
Yeah, they've had a difficult time of scoring runs in their last 11 games. And let's hope Jordan Zimmerman can continue to keep their offense reeling.
Now Andrew Romine will get things started for the Tigers. It'll be Romine, Castellanos, and Cabrera. Here's the first pitch of tonight's ball game, and it's a strike called on Andrew.
Ian Kinsler is still nursing that sore hamstring.
Ian was out before the game today, running, testing it out, and just not quite there. I think if Brad had his druthers, he would wait until the first game Tuesday night in Arizona.
I think that's what he might do.
At this point, he probably won't play tomorrow and get the day off Monday and then back to work Tuesday. Here's the 1-1. Romine slaps it foul back out of play. 1-2.
And told you Hahn's got a decent fastball. A lot of movement on his 2-seamer. He'll go anywhere from 90 to 94. Lots of curveballs. It's a big curveball, and it's a good pitch for him.
Right-hander is 27 years old, a Connecticut native. And a ball high and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Romine. Andrew in the ball game last night. Pretty good game. Had a couple of hits. Stole a base. Here's the 2-2. And it's slapped foul again.
And Tigers have been having some really good at-bats with 2 strikes lately. Their 2-strike approach, something they worked on in spring training. A lot of guys not necessarily leaving the strike zone, swinging at bad pitches.
Romine sends a ground ball to second. That'll be a routine play there for Jed Lowry. Andrew is retired, 1 gone. That's how we start this one tonight. Here are the field conditions presented by Ace Hardware and the Scott's Company. And, well, it's pretty good. 63 degrees at game time, clear skies as well, so about as good as you can get right now.
Another beautiful day on the West Coast.
A little bit of a breeze blowing here tonight at the Coliseum. Here is Nicholas Castellanos. Nick last night was 0 for 4 in the opener. Tigers threatened in the first inning against Triggs. They loaded the bases, but he got a big double play ball. Castellanos, 246, 3 home runs. Here's the 1-0. Hahn has faced the Tigers 3 times, has good numbers against them. Really good ERA. Here's the 1-1 pitch, and it's outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Here are the career numbers: a 1.64 earned run average.
He's got a whip that's under 1 as well, and the Tigers have only hit him at a 179 clip. He's been dominant against the Tigers bats in those 3 starts. We'll change that tonight.
Here's the 2-1 pitch. And Nick looks at a strike in the outer edge.
Ooh, that's borderline. If Hahn gets that pitch all night long tonight, it's going to be a long night for Tigers batters.
You could tell by the look on the face of Castellanos and the fact that he has stepped out. He did not like that last call. 2-2. Gabe Morales, your home plate umpire tonight.
They're going right back outside with that same fastball, see if they can get that same call.
Bouncing ball to second. Lowry handles this one as well. 2 up, 2 down.
Let's take one more look at that last fastball. This ball looks like it may have been the same location as the one that was just called a strike. But if you're Castellanos, you know you have to swing at it because Gabe Morales just called that last pitch a strike.
Right back out there, and Castellanos is out 4-3. It'll bring up Cabrera now with 2 outs. And Miguel looks at a ball outside. Cabrera had a single and a double in last night's ball game, average up to 275 for the big guy. Hahn missing low and away, 2-0.
It won't be long before Miggy's batting average gets up to 300. That's where he sits just about every single season. And 25 to 30 homers, and he's going to drive in 100 if he stays healthy.
He stands as deep as anyone in the box. That back foot is all the way back there.
Yeah, he wants to make sure he gets a long look.
Here's the 2-1. In there, a strike call, 2-2.
Miggy was sitting on something soft there. 95-mile-per-hour fastball down the middle of the plate. Miggy might have thought it was off the plate, but then Gabe Morales said, no, it's a strike.
Back toe touching that back line. Missed outside, 3-2.
After about an inning or so, that back line will be gone from the batter's box because all the hitters, they just kind of get it out of the way early. Then they could back up a little further if they want to. Once that line is gone where Miggy's foot is.
Whistled foul down the right field line.
Hahn coming out throwing hard today. Just
Yep.
about every fastball, 94, 95. He's also gotten up to 96 on one pitch to Miguel.
Big kid, he's listed at 6'4", 215.
He started the season in the minor leagues, but did not pitch in one game before he was recalled on April 5th.
Another foul back out of play. By the way, if the Tigers combine for 3 or more home runs in this game, make sure you bring a copy of the box score to a participating Arby's location tomorrow, and you'll get a free small order of curly fries. 3-2, the count stays on Cabrera, just underway here in Oakland. 2 out, nobody on. And he walked in ball 4. The Tigers get a 2-out base runner.
Now batting number 41.
That'll bring up Victor Martinez.
And we talked about Victor at the top of the show. He has been on fire lately. Lots of extra base damage, driving in lots of runs, and the batting average continues to creep up.
2 singles, a double, 2 RBIs. He also walked in the ball game last night. They'll play the shift on against Martinez. Jed Lowry is in short right field from his second base position.
And Victor beat the shift a couple of times last night, going the opposite way.
He'll shoot one to right field, a base hit.
He stays hot.
The red-hot Victor Martinez continues to swing a hot bat. And the Tigers have a 2-out threat going.
Batting in the 5th position, number 8, Justin Upton.
That'll bring up Justin Upton now. J-Up found himself in a pretty enviable position last night. Bases loaded, 1 out in the first inning, but he knocked into a 6-4-3 double play. Batting .274 with 5 homers this year. Cabrera, the runner at second, Martinez at first. And Upton looks at ball 1.
Jesse Hahn had thrown a lot of fastballs to the first 4 hitters of the game, whether it was Victor, Miggy, Castellanos, or Romine. Then all of a sudden a runner gets in scoring position and he goes to his curveball in the first pitch. Tigers should put that in their little memory bank for later on.
Ball 2. Saw the numbers on update with men in scoring position. 389 this year for J-Up. Tigers, courtesy of their victory last night, 2 over the 500 mark now. Things still pretty bunched up early on here in the Central. Now the 2-0. Fouled away.
A lot of people believe that the Central is going to stay bunched up all year long. A lot of people did not expect Minnesota and Chicago to get off to the starts that they've gotten off to. Good for baseball.
And I'm one of them. I really didn't think Minnesota had any staying power at all, but here we are in the month of May, still playing well. Likewise, Chicago, we'll see. Good for baseball is right, though. Here's the 2-1. Ooh, he flinched. He wanted to call it, did Gabe Morales, but he didn't. 3-1. So Upton now is in a really good count here.
Predictable fastball count. Doesn't mean he's going to get in one, but that's exactly what he should be looking for.
.25 thrown by Hahn in this inning.
Ratio not great. 14 strikes, 11 balls.
Three and 2. And he walked him. Ball 4. And for the second straight night, the Tigers have loaded the bases in the first inning.
Batting 6.
After 2 are retired.
Number 31, Alex Avila.
It's a good take by J-Up. This pitch is awfully close. And Vogt, the catcher, tried to reach down and pull it back up in the strike zone, but Gabe Morales, the home plate umpire, was not buying that.
So here is Alex Avila.
Hahn in his last start against the Houston Astros and did not walk one batter in the 6 innings that he pitched that day.
Well, he's got a problem here now with 2 outs.
Alex has been picking on fastballs all year long. He hasn't been missing his heaters.
And Avila takes one high, 1 ball and no strikes.
That's the first changeup that Jesse Hahn has thrown today.
What a year it has been so far for Avila. An opportunity here to get the Tigers on the board early. And he'll look at the ball high. That time a fastball at 95 missed. 2-0. This was looking like it might be a very easy inning for Hahn. Couple of ground outs to start the game and then a walk. And a whole bunch of trouble after that. Here's Avila among major league catchers. A lot of damage so far this year. Fouled back out of play now. 2-1. If nothing else, the Tigers are driving the pitch count up on Hahn. His next one will be his 30th.
Even with runners in scoring position, Bob Melvin has his infielders all over the place in the infield. There's holes everywhere for Avila to find.
Another foul back out of play, and the count levels now 2-2.
The Tigers identified very early in the offseason, really it goes back to last year, that they wanted to bring Avila back. They loved his leadership skills, obviously. And they know he knows the pitchers, knew how to handle them, and he's given them a whole lot of offense in the games that he's played so far this year.
Brad said before the game in his meeting with the media that he personally, or probably as you look at it, has Avila, that is, forced his hand. He's made him start him this year.
Yes, he has.
I mean, he's forced his way with his bat into the lineup on a daily basis, it seems. Again, the 2-2 inside made him skip his feet out of the way. 3-2 on Avila.
He wouldn't walk in a run, would he?
Well, let's find out. Tyler Collins waiting on deck.
This much we do know. Jordan Zimmermann gets a whole lot of run support, so this might be a real nice night for the Tigers offense to bust out again.
Yeah, that's a good point. And it's starting to shape up that way again early tonight.
They're getting him about 9 runs per contest. He's getting antsy. He's ready to get out there. But he'd like to take the mound with a couple run lead.
Bouncing ball foul. Count stays 3-2. 2 walks and a single for Hahn after retiring the first 2. Got some visitors in the field tonight. They are all over the stadium.
Yes, they are.
And on top of the stadium.
Like they own the place.
They pretty much do. 385 this year with men in scoring position for Avila.
All of his numbers, Avila, are very, very positive so far in the 2017 campaign.
And another foul back out of play, turning into a good at bat for Avila.
And they are working Jesse Hahn extremely hard out there. He's already thrown 33 pitches. And a lot of times when a pitcher has thrown this many pitches in an inning, the catcher will go out and have a visit with him because he's starting to tire a little bit. He might just make a mistake because he's thrown so many pitches in the first frame.
Number 8 coming up in this at bat.
Miggy had a really lengthy at bat. Victor Martinez, he swung at the first pitch, but Justin Upton had a lengthy at bat too. Mostly away to Avila. 1 pitch down and in.
Bouncing ball to first. It's backhanded by Alonso. All of that, and the Tigers will leave him loaded. No runs, couple of walks, and a base hit. Here comes Jordan Zimmermann. We go to the bottom of the first inning. Here come the Athletics and their starting lineup tonight, brought to you by the Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. It's going to be Rajai Davis getting things started. Davis last night, his 1,000th career hit. Heck, he had 3 of them last night. Lowry and Chris Davis to follow. Then Alonso, Healy, and Vogt in the middle. Joyce, Rosales, and Decker rounding it out. And Mr. Zimmermann presented by Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
And Jordan was awfully good his last time out against the White Sox. Pitched a really good game. Fastball got up to 94. Also threw some really good sliders and curveballs and used his changeup effectively. It was the best we'd probably seen Jordan, partner, since April of last year.
I would agree with that. And hopefully that'll continue here tonight. Rajai Davis getting things started for the Athletics.
And Rajai got a couple of knocks in last night's game. As a matter of fact, he got his 1,000th major league hit in last night's game real late in that contest.
Average of 236. Davis was on the DL for a spell with a bad hamstring. 7 RBIs for the A's, and he'll look at a ball outside. 1-1. Zim in search of his 4th win of the season. Brings home the 1-1 pitch.
A good fastball, 93 at the bottom of the zone.
Pretty much straight up against Davis defensively. The 1-2. Rajai last year 12 home runs, stole 43 bags. In his 2nd tour of duty now with the Athletics.
He had a great year last year for the Cleveland Indians.
Again, the 1-2. And Davis takes one that skips to the backstop. 2-2.
Rajai Davis is doing his best to speed up games. He doesn't get out of the batter's box. He takes a pitch and just stands right there. Some guys get out, walk around.
Rajai has always been that way, and it's one thing I've admired about him because he tries to keep the time of the game down. And we love that. 2-2 is slapped down the right field line, out of play. Davis, a well-liked Tiger in his 2 years with Detroit. Stole some bases, played some pretty good outfield for the Tigers. Was a spark plug. That's just his game.
Always came to the yard with a smile on his face. Good numbers as a Tiger. 16 homers. He drove in 81 and he hit 272 in the 2 years that he wore the Tigers uniform.
And he's giving Zim a battle here in the 1st inning. A 7-pitch at bat so far for Rajai. Davis missed 8 games with the hamstring. Here's the 2-2 and a bouncing ball left side. Here comes Iglesias running scoop. Got to throw quickly. Got him by half a step. Man, that's a great play there by Iggy, especially with the runner.
From the right side, Rajai Davis probably gets down the line at about 3.8 seconds. So if you're Iglesias, you have to surround this ball and try to get your momentum carrying you back toward first base. And he did that. He grabbed it, he kept running toward first base, and he got off a really strong throw, and they got him at the end on the play. It's a nice job here by Iglesias. I know we were talking about that throw that Adduci made last night in the very 1st inning to throw out Chris Davis, the number 3 hitter at second base. But that pick by Iglesias was incredible to make the tag on Chris Davis.
He's got great hands. There will be no challenge, so Iglesias and his play will stand. 1 gone. Here's Jed Lowry.
Guys like Rajai Davis, they turn routine ground balls to the infielders into very difficult do-or-die plays with their speed.
Lowry on base a couple of times last night, scored their 2 runs.
Lowry can hit a little bit. I mean, he's a switch hitter, not going to hit for a whole lot of power, but he gives you a quality at bat most of the time. He's been with a few clubs in his career.
.297, couple of homers. Last 14 games have been awfully good compared to the previous 12. .346 clip. And Lowry looks at a ball outside. He's gone 3-0 now against Jordan.
And Jordan doesn't walk many. Yeah, minimum pitchers with 1,000 starts in the big leagues, 1,000 innings. Jordan Zimmerman 1.88 walks per 9. Not very many.
Sim had that long streak of not walking back-to-back hitters in a game. Snapped earlier this year. It's odd when you see him with multiple walks in a game. He had 5 of them against Minnesota. And there's his first walk tonight with 1 out.
Let's take a look at the Tigers starting defense behind Jordan Zimmerman this evening. They've got Upton in left. They've got Collins in center. Adduci, he's in right. Up the middle, they've got Iglesias and Romine. Miggy and Castellanos are on the corners. And Alex Avila is the catcher.
So once again, Romine starts for Kinsler. Here's Ian. As we mentioned, he was out testing that hamstring today. It's not quite where they want it to be, so we'll wait and see how long that'll take. That ball hammered in the air to right field. Adduci going back to the track in front of the wall to make the catch. Davis gave it a ride, but a little bit short.
Batting fourth, the first baseman.
2 gone.
Number 17, Yonder Alonso.
Here's Yonder Alonso. This guy's having himself a pretty good season here.
He's off to a career year. 6 homers already. He's driven in a lot of runs. He's always been known for his glove, not necessarily his bat.
Alonso has more RBIs this year than any other first baseman in the American League. Although I would assume that Miggy will catch him and surpass him at some point. And Alonso looks at a ball outside. 12 RBIs in his last 15 games. Here's the 1-0. 1 ball and 1 strike on Alonso.
And so far, Zimmerman's got a little bit of life on the fastball. 93, 94 with most of those.
Tigers got a great effort last night from Michael Fulmer, hoping for more of the same here tonight from Zimmerman. The Tigers staff has really been pretty solid this year. The starting staff. 1-1 is a check swing low. 2-1.
I was talking to Bob Melvin, the manager of the Oakland Athletics, about Fulmer and what he was able to do last night. 8 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned run. He walked 2, but he punched out 9. Bob Melvin said that was one of the best pitched games he'd seen against his squad so far this year. Bob said he was really impressed with his changeup.
There's a lot to be impressed about with Fulmer. Here's a 2-1. Popped him up. Shallow center field. Collins comes charging in. He's under it. And that'll be it for the Athletics. No runs. They get a walk and they leave a man. Oakland, no score in this one to this point. And Menards brings you the big money encounter. The best road record against an American League opponent. The Tigers since 2010 are 16-12 here against the A's. We know that they do really good work in Minnesota.
Yes, they do.
And that includes their victory last night. Tyler Collins leads it off. 7-8-9 for the Tigers here in the second. And Hahn misses high, 1-0.
Hahn continues to fall behind Tigers batters and giving them really good looks at that fastball, but the fastball's been firm at 94, 95.
In the air toward left field. Straight at Decker. One gone.
Now batting.
That'll bring up Jim Adduci.
Number 37, Jim Adduci.
Trying to find the right words to describe the impact that Adduci has had here since being called up. 343 batting average, and Brad the other day just flat out said he has lit it up here.
Pleasant surprise. I'll use two words.
Yeah, that fits, to be sure.
He's done everything. He's defended. He's hit to all fields. He looks awfully comfortable in the batter's box.
Fouled off. 0-2. Well, the Tigers had some guys that had big league experience more recently than Adduci. Presley and David Lowe down in the minor leagues. Stephen Moya. And Adduci hits another bullet, this time to third. And it's going to be late. Hard hit ball that Healy was able to knock down, but that's it.
They will probably give Healy an error, but that could very easily go as a base hit because that was absolutely smoked off the bat of Adduci. And one thing, if you're a third baseman, you're not really used to the ball coming at you this hot off of the left-hander's bat. Usually when a left-hander hits the ball to third base, it's something that he basically hits off the end of the bat, not a rocket like that.
Well, they have ruled it an error, which is a shame.
Well, they make a lot of errors anyway, do the Athletics. They made two more last night, and they have one of the poorest defensive teams in the big leagues the first month of the year.
Iglesias looks at ball one. We said it last night, but it seems like Adduci hits everything on a line to the opposite field.
It's been a while since I've seen a left-handed batter hit the ball that hard on the line and on the ground the opposite way.
27th error of the year for the Athletics.
Is that a lot?
It's a lot.
They ain't even played 27 games, have they?
There you go. Boston 26, Texas 25.
That Boston club's not defending either.
No.
Oakland has played exactly 29 games.
Iglesias was 1 for 4 in the ball game last night. In fact, Iggy had a triple to not get a run in the 8th inning.
Yeah, he sliced one down in the right field corner.
Hahn's already at 40 pitches, and he has only one out here in the second. That's in there. One thing Hahn doesn't do a lot of, and that's give up home runs. He had allowed just one homer in 32 innings coming in. We'll see if the Tigers can change that here tonight. Runner goes, and a line drive knocked down by Hahn. He may not have a play anywhere. He won't. A bullet hit right back to the pitcher. It'll go as a single for Iglesias.
Now batting, the second baseman, number 17, Andrew Romine.
That'll bring up Romine.
And one hopper right back to Jesse Hahn. Looked like he was going to make the play. Ball went right off the tip of the glove, and by the time he was able to locate the baseball, Iglesias, with his good speed, was crossing the bag with another infield single. Iglesias gets tons of infield singles.
Well, he doesn't strike out a lot. He puts the ball in play a lot, and a lot of times to utilize that speed. He's got himself another one. Romine a chance to drive in a run. He's 0 for 1 with a ground out. Swing and a miss. Andrew had a couple of knocks last night, scored a run, stole a base. Hahn 4 of 10. First pitch strikes. Back him out of there. 1 ball and 1 strike. Romine, true to his form, has played a ton of different positions this year. He'll send that one on the ground. Foul right by Vizquel. By the way, stay tuned to Tigers Live. Following the game, we'll select the Fox Sports Detroit Tigers player of the game. Presented by McDonald's. Stop by for your breakfast favorites. Now being served all day. Ducey, the runner at second, and Iglesias at first.
Tigers were 5 of 13 with runners in scoring position in last night's game.
Two and two. Romine this year has played first, second, short, left, and center.
And it appears to me that he might hit a career high in games this year because he's playing more at the beginning of this season than he has in the last couple of years he's been in the Tigers uniform.
Now the 2-2. And it's drilled toward the gap in right center field. That ball is going to get down, and it's going to go to the wall. 1 run is in. Here comes Iglesias rounding third. They'll send him home. Romine with a 2-run triple.
I see you, Andrew.
A big air opens up the doors, and Romine kicks it in with a 2-run triple.
You cannot give extra outs to good big league teams. Romine gets a fastball that's down, and really, he just drops the bat into the hitting zone. That pitch was 94. It found the gap in right center. By the time Rajay picks it up, Romine rounding second, headed to third. Big, big hit.
RBIs 7 and 8, and Romine has his first triple. Still only 1 out, and now Castellanos will try and score him. Oakland pulling the infield in. That's driven to left field, a base hit. That'll get a run in. Romine scores, and Castellanos makes it 3-0.
Back in the first inning, I told you that Hahn likes to throw breaking balls when runners are in scoring position, and Castellanos went up there looking for a breaking ball, got it, and didn't miss it.
Number 24, Miguel Cabrera.
This ball is up the top of the strike zone. Nick followed it all the way in until it met his bat and laced a single in the left.
Castellanos RBI number 17. Kurt Young is out for a chat. And Miguel Cabrera is strolling in, and it brings us to the Bernstein advantage. It's an advantage that Cabrera has had in his career against the West.
So that's against 5 teams.
Yeah.
He hit .331 against the West.
Is that good?
I guess he has no jet lag when he comes to the left coast.
Well, that's a good point. Typically, teams come out here really struggle with that jet lag. Not Miggy.
No, .331 against the league.
He's superhuman. Still only 1 out, and Cabrera looks at ball 1. So the Tigers on consecutive nights have faced pitchers that had put up some pretty good numbers to start the year.
And Hahn had good numbers coming in against left-handed bats too.
2-run triple Romine, RBI single Castellanos. 2-0 on Cabrera. Miggy had a 2-out walk in the first. Oh, 50 already now for Hahn. That 34 pitch first inning will do it to you.
He's gotten 4 outs and he's thrown 50 pitches.
There's a strike call.
He's not going to stay around very long at that rate.
You get the bullpen on high alert. They will be working tonight. 2-1 on Cabrera. Miguel with 11 RBIs so far this year. In the opener last night, Cabrera single double. Ball outside. 3-1. Maybe Miggy's hardest hit ball last night was that laser he hit to center field. It fell into the glove of Davis.
I would agree with that.
Cabrera spent some time on the DL with a groin problem, but has since regained his spot in the lineup. Here's the 3-1 runner goes, and it's driven toward the gap in right field. It's going to be caught on the run, though, by Joyce. They might get a double play, but the throw will be off target.
That's a nice job of base running by Castellanos.
The designated hitter.
And Castellanos on that line drive to right field, he knew that he could get all the way to second base. And even if Joyce caught the ball and threw the ball back to first, he knew he could get back. Take one look at it here. Nick running on the play actually, so he was all the way at second base. And he had to get on his horse to get back. Tigers have been running quite a bit in this series.
Yeah, very aggressive. Nick on his horse.
Getting the sprints in.
Here's Martinez now with 2 outs. Avila is single in the first.
And Victor starting to get locked in. That batting average is up to 265 now. Miggy starting to swing that stick. Tigers offense starting to perk up as the weather starts to warm up.
One ball, 1 strike on Martinez.
One thing Hahn has not done today, which he has done in his last few starts, he's elevated the fastball at the top of the strike zone and got quite a few swings and misses. He really hasn't gone up there thus far.
Bouncing ball toward the left side of the infield, knocked down by Healy. How about that?
Ooh, he kicked another one.
Oh my goodness.
That's what happens though when you put your third baseman at the shortstop position. Don't want to be mean, but you know he's not a shortstop.
Another error for the third baseman Healy.
Number 8, Justin Upton.
Hit him right on the shoe. He never got glove on it.
Second error of the game for Healy. It'll keep the inning going.
You know that ball will find you for the rest of the day.
Not only that, but how about Victor again against that shift, just going the other way. He just continues to foil that shift. Here's Upton. 8th man to bat in the inning, and the Tigers can turn this into a huge inning. Justin had a walk in his first at bat. So that's 2 errors now for the Athletics. 28 for the year. Little chopper foul right to Dave Clark. Bare hands it. Typically the third base coach will try and hand out a souvenir if he catches a ground ball, but here it takes a pretty hard throw just to get it into the seats.
You got to run it halfway.
Got to run his right. You can't lob one into the seats here.
He might hurt somebody if you throw it. You got to throw it so far.
0-2. Chopper to third. That's going to be a fair ball, and he'll step on the bag and get a sarcastic cheer from the hometown fans. Tigers, though, get a few runs here early in this one. They scored 3 times. Romine triples in a couple, and Castellanos knocks in 1 more. Raider country. Supporting the Lions and sporting his Lions blue. He's not afraid.
Not at all.
Here come the A's now as we go to the bottom of the second. It'll be Healy, Vogt, and Joyce. Zim had a walk in the first. That was it. And now he goes to work in the second. And a ball outside to Ryan Healy, trying to make up for a couple of early errors in this game. Tigers lead 3-0. Healy over his last 9, batting just .158. Ball 2. He is DH this year. He has played first and third. Now Zim with the 2-0. Healy had a really good second half last year. Was called up to the big leagues in July and put up some really good offensive numbers. Here's the 2-1. Fouled away 2-2 on Healy.
And Healy had himself in a nice friendly fastball count and a little tardy on that 91-mile-per-hour heater thrown by Jordan.
The A's have 5, 6, and 7 coming up in this inning. Here's the 2-2. Drill to left field down the line. That ball is gone. A home run. He absolutely hammered that.
That's one way to make up for the 2 miscues.
5th home run of the year for Ryan Healy, a solo shot.
Ryan Healy was tardy on the previous pitch at 91, but he wasn't tardy on this next one.
Batting in the 6th position, the catcher, number 21.
He killed that thing.
That thing got out quickly. A line drive homer.
A line drive about 400 feet.
Oakland on the board, 3-1. Here's Stephen Vogt. Vogt, a couple of strikeouts last time. He was 0 for 4 in the opener.
106 was the hit speed.
Ooh.
On his bat getting through the strike zone. That would be Healy, and that ball traveled 407 feet.
1 ball, 1 strike. The A's have done much of their scoring this year on home runs, many of them solo shots. They've gotten another one. Vogt hammers one down the right field line, but that is hooking foul.
The A's have always been known as a bunch of guys that could hit for power. And back in the day when it was Reggie Jackson and Joe Rudy and Sal Bando, they were the swinging A's.
Ooh, you're digging deep now.
And then they had the Cansecos and the Hendersons and McGuires, and they were the Bash brothers.
One and 2. Ball high, 2-2. Stephen Vogt.
Stephen Vogt can hit a little bit. Struggling right now with the batting average, but he's made an all-star team the last couple of years.
Got him, strike 3. Zimmerman strikes him out.
Good pitch.
That's his first. Well, Pepsi 10-game flex plans are on sale right now for as little as $175. You'll get tickets for 2 games of your choice each month of the regular season. Call 313-471-BALL or visit Tigers.com today. Flex plans. 1 gone now for Matt Joyce. Joyce did not have a good night last night against Michael Fulmer. Now, many of the A's did not, but Joyce struck out 3 times in the game. Batted in the number 2 slot. He is hitting 7th tonight.
Michael Fulmer last night punched out 9, and his stuff was just lethal. He threw about 107 pitches. At least 50 of those were 95 and above. Tons of swing and misses on everything. He's a legitimate #1 starter.
30 now for Zimmerman. Well, you got the ace in Verlander, and you've got the future ace, and it appears Michael Fulmer.
And he's working and he's pitching like Verlander. Remember back in the day, Verlander would get in jams and simply just leave all those runners stranded. He would pitch his best baseball with power fastballs and good sliders. We saw some of that in Michael Fulmer last night.
Yeah, we saw 96, 97 as well in the 8th inning. Deep into the contest. That ball driven in the air to right. Aducey. 2 gone.
Here's his total night. His stuff, the fastball, as we talked about, got up to 95, 96, sometimes 97. He worked ahead most of the count, most of the night. He got plays made behind him because he was working so efficiently. And in that 3rd inning, the bases were loaded, and then he was able to come back and get a strikeout on a weak ground ball to get out of that jam. He was very good last night.
Really, Fulmer has been dominant, but Boyd has pitched well, and Norris has had his moments as well. The high fly to shallow right. Aducey coming in, and that'll end the inning. They get a run on the Healy home run. 3-1 after 2. Well, the Tigers have themselves the lead, and Alex Avila will lead things off for Detroit. It'll be Avila, and then Collins and Aducey, and Avila bounced out his first time up with the bases loaded. Hahn works it home and deals a strike. Tigers sending 8 men to the plate in the 2nd, and they scored 3 runs.
And Jesse Hahn came out really trying to bully the Tigers in the game tonight with 93, 94, 95 mile-per-hour fastballs. But the Tigers have a really good fastball hitting team. So now he started to throw a few more off-speed pitches, back-to-back changeups to Avila.
Alex had a great homestand, 10 for 24. On that last homestand.
He's got that sweet swing.
Infield playing to pull. They've shifted against him. Here's the 0-2. Avila once again getting the call tonight. James McCann has been struggling at the dish. James was 0 for 4 again in the ball game last night.
There's no doubt that James McCann will get it going soon. But until then, you might as well ride the hot hand in Avila.
Swing and a miss, and down he goes. Avila strikes out.
All 4 pitches to Avila in that pitch sequence were off-speed pitches. He threw him 3 changeups and 1 curveball.
The center fielder, Tyler Collins.
That's what you have to do in the big leagues, though. You have to make adjustments, and clearly Hahn is going to try to make an adjustment here in the 3rd inning because the first 2 innings have not gone very well for him.
Tyler Collins flying to left field. He is only at bat. Off the end of the bat, foul.
That is now 5 straight off-speed pitches.
Well, he got beat up pretty good in that second. Of course, the error helped. A single by Iglesias, triple by Romine Castellanos, a single.
Now, if you're the Tigers, you need to just understand what Hahn's trying to do now so you can make the adjustments that you need to make on the offensive end.
There's a fastball to 93, and the count is 0-2. Collins, for whatever reason, has hit much better at home than on the road this year. Well over 300 at home. But on the road, he came in 139. Well, 400 at home. I shortchanged him. Trying to get something started here in the 3rd. On with the 0-2. The A's starters are 2-8 over their last 11 games with an elevated ERA of just under 5. The Tigers took advantage of that a little bit last night. 11 hits outside, in the count now 2-2. Popped up foul. Collins has seen the majority of time in center field in the absence of Jacoby Jones, who's down at AAA in a rehab. JD Martinez homered in his rehab today in Lakeland, or for Lakeland. And he got him, strike 3. Couple of strikeouts now for Hahn. Tyler didn't like it. And let's check in now with John Keating.
Well, Mario, I think we're down to just dozens of birds now after we were at hundreds of birds earlier in the day. Around Tigers batting practice, they were everywhere. You have seen them dive bombing the infield and the short outfield for most of the evening. The guess is that they just got the word that this was an early starting game, and apparently it's Seagull lunch hour, and that's why I'm under the cover. Mama didn't raise no fool, but if you could bring me a poncho, I would appreciate that mightily.
You got it, Keith. Thanks.
Okay.
Kind of waiting for Alfred Hitchcock to show up to this game with all the birds around here. It's kind of bizarre. How about a Ducey, meanwhile? Just another rocket off his bat, that's all. That one to center field, a 2-out single. Here is Iglesias. There's a strike, and with each passing day now, Rod, it's looking like this decision once JD Martinez comes back on what to do with the Ducey, and you've got Jacoby Jones on the horizon as well. What do you do with this guy?
This just in.
He ain't going nowhere.
Deuce ain't going nowhere. He's not going nowhere.
Unbelievable, the bat he has swung.
They will just have to recalculate, to readjust, because Deuce is not going anywhere.
What is the telephone tell you? Rerouting.
Yeah, exactly.
The GPS is going to have to reroute. 1 ball, 1 strike on Iglesias.
Remember Jim Leland, he told us a story about one time he asked Siri who should be his closer.
Who did Siri answer?
I forgot.
Phil Koch, I think. I remember that.
That was classic Jim.
He was a piece of work.
You should be my closer. There's the ball outside. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Boy, oh boy. The skipper.
He was something else, man. The fact that Jim Leyland was using Siri in the first place was funny enough.
Oh boy.
Iggy had a single, scored a run in his first at bat. Here's the 2-1. He is taking all the way. It's Iglesias just kind of standing there like a statue.
Not the first time we've seen Iglesias do that this year. I mean, man, strikes. You got to be ready to hit your strikes. You can't give them away.
Meanwhile, up to 75 now for Hahn in his pitch count. Fly ball right field. On the move is Joyce, all the way to the warning track to run it down, and that'll end the inning. No runs, 2 outs, single is stranded. The Oakland A's, and he has something in common with many of you. He's a huge Detroit Red Wings fan, even though he grew up in Arizona. He was about 8 years old. His parents, or his family, he had family members, extended family, who were in Dearborn, and they sort of transferred their love of the Red Wings to him out in Arizona. The Wings were out in Arizona when he was 8. He got autographs from Brendan Shanahan and Steve Yzerman and Sergei Fedorov, and told me the story that he spilled his Coke on Doug Brown, who played for the Red Wings back in the day. And you'll hear Jeff Decker tell that story on Tigers Live tomorrow, just before Game 3 of the series here in Oakland, guys.
Hey, we look forward to it, Keats. How about that, a Red Wings fan?
Yeah.
In our midst. Decker swings and misses. Now, you're looking at his first name, and it's spelled J-A-F-F, and you're wondering why it is spelled J-A-F-F and pronounced Jeff. Well, his uncle, there it is, his uncle, on his birth certificate, his name was spelled incorrectly, so it kind of became a family name, and they passed it down to Mr. Decker.
Wow, how about that?
So his name is the incorrectly spelled version of Jeff.
Same as his uncle?
Same as his uncle, correct. Just kind of an interesting kind of guy all the way around.
Yes, indeed.
Decker, Davis, and Laurie. Here's a swing and a miss, and Zim strikes him out.
Now batting, the center fielder, number 11, Raj.
Pretty good fastball there, and to Decker. And right around the belt buckle, throwing it right by him at 93. And Zim walking around with some confidence on the mound right now. He's starting to feel it. He's made a couple of adjustments, one with the hand, one with the feet. And because of that, he's got himself in a direct line toward home plate, getting on top of the baseball, throwing straight downhill again.
Well, when you look at Zim and you look at his numbers last year, obviously April was closer to the type of pitcher he was with the Nationals prior to coming to Detroit than, of course, the last half of last season.
Yeah, they watched some video before his last start, and he noticed that his hands were dropping down lower than they had been when he was pitching with the Washington Nationals. So they made that adjustment, and it worked well for him 5 days ago. He says he's still going to have to deal with it from start to start because he created himself a bad habit, and a lot of times bad habits are hard to get out of.
Rich Doobie, the pitching coach for the Tigers, has some talent certainly to work with this year. It's kind of interesting if you're a pitching coach for the staff. You've got 3 young guys, you got 2 veterans. Got a really good mix for Doobie, who joined the staff last year. 2-1 on Rajay Davis to center field, and Collins has it measured. 2 gone.
Let's take a look at Jordan and some of the adjustments he made. First of all, take a look at the glove. On the left, it's going to be in Washington, where he's holding the glove pretty still. It doesn't move a whole lot. On the right, that's with the Tigers before he was struggling, go up and down. He said that's something he's never done. He also made an adjustment with the feet. On the left, earlier, he's stepping all the way toward first base. On the right, that was 5 days ago, stepping straight toward home plate, getting on top of the baseball, which allowed him to have much better action. As you can see on the left, those balls against Seattle, they were just flattening out over the strike zone. But Zim's been good here today, and he was good 5 days ago with the adjustments he made.
Chet Lowry skies one to center field. That's going to be routine for Collins. And it's going to be a 1-2-3 inning for Jordan Zimmerman. It's coming up with a late victory in Kansas City today. That Indians team, they were starting to play a little bit better. Tigers slowed them down a bit, though.
Yep, led by Francisco Lindor, a real nice player.
Romine leading it off for the Tigers here in the 4th inning. Romine, Castellanos, Cabrera. Cleveland right now at 16-13. Everybody else right there, even the Royals. There's a ball outside. I have a feeling, even though the Royals have gotten off to a rocky start, they will have a run in them.
I agree with you. And they're still way too talented around the infield and the outfield, and they've got some good pitching too.
And Romine will take himself a 4-pitch walk.
And let's take a look at Romine's overall series. And I said that after he hit that grand slam, it appeared that his swing got big. But in this series, Romine's had some really short strokes. That ball was at his shoe tops, He got a base hit to right field last night. Then he beat the shift going the opposite way. And then in tonight's game, he triples into the right center field gap. So all of Romine's swings the last couple of days have been short, quick, and compact. And that's why he's putting the ball in play with authority again.
Now Castellanos. Nick had a single to drive in a run in his last at bat.
A hanging curveball.
Ten of 20 now on first pitch strikes for Hahn. Infield playing to pull on Nick. Romine stole a bag in the ball game last night. And now Hahn can't throw a strike. 2-0. 6 in a row have missed the strike zone. That's going to bring Kurt Young out. Hey, just a reminder as you enjoy a cold one to look forward to Miller Time later in tonight's game, brought to you by Miller Lite.
Major League Baseball gives you 30 seconds to visit with your pitcher, but they ought to give Oakland about 10 more seconds due to how much foul territory they've got to cover.
That's true.
It is not fair. I was watching Kurt Young. He's got a sprint out there.
By the time he reaches the line, the third base
His
line,
15 seconds are gone.
Half of it's gone. I never thought of that. Well, he's had his say with Hahn. 2-0 on Castellanos. There's a strike. 2-1. Just caught the corner of the strike zone.
And Gabe Morales has been very generous with the fastballs, just a tick off the outer third of home plate. And Stephen Vogt, the catcher, continues to call for it.
Two on Nicholas. 17 RBIs now for Castellanos. Ties it with Victor for the team lead. Cabrera lurking on deck. Here's the 2-2, and he fought that one off, rolled it foul. Nick out in front that time. Tigers last night won their 1,000th game against the A's franchise. Now that goes back to the early 1900s when they were the Philadelphia Athletics. Swing and a miss. He comes back to strike out Castellanos. One away. Hey fans, don't miss out on the LPGA Volvic Championship Play with the Pros sweepstakes. Now's your chance to attend the pairings party and play 18 holes of golf alongside LPGA professionals Travis Point Country Club on May 24th. For your chance to win, enter at foxsportsdetroit.com. Here is Cabrera. Walking a fly ball for Miguel. 0-1.
Looks like to me that Miguel is trying to hit everything the opposite way. He's already hit several balls in that direction in this series. He's also hit a ball to center field in the series. You can tell by Miggy's swing when he's trying to hit the ball into right field.
Romine draws the throw. Cabrera's fly ball was hit to right in the second and hit deep to right, run down by Joyce. Swing and a miss.
to the breaking ball, and the count is 0-2 on Cabrera. Miggy on Tuesday hit his 450th career home run.
He'll be knocking on the door to 500 in a couple of years.
Just missed. A little bit outside. Yeah, it won't be long. And by the time he's ready to hang him up, he's going to have some big time numbers. Hall of Fame worthy already. The 1-2. 2-2 now on Cabrera.
What's funny about Miguel is we were saying that he was a Hall of Fame player about 4 or 5 years ago. Just a couple of years ago, after putting on a Tigers uniform, we recognized very early how special he was and how much talent he had. Then he's won a Triple Crown. He's won batting titles, MVPs.
And when he's not winning the MVP, he's top 5. There's a base hit the other way again. Into right field, a solid single for Cabrera.
Miguel will take exactly what you give him. He said that he takes what the pitchers give him. That's why he hits 300. But when they make mistakes, that's where he really hits the ball of the ballpark. That is a fastball that's away that Miguel lets get real deep in the strike zone and then laces it in between first and second.
Cabrera on base for the second time, a walk to go with a single.
And Victor Martinez might just be their hottest hitter.
Still playing to pull, even though there are 2 men aboard here. V-Mart with a single in his first at bat, hit a ball hard to the shortstop position that was booted by Healy in his last at bat. Tigers had 11 hits in last night's ball game, 6 already in this one. Last 10, 316 mark. 8 driven in the last 10 ball games.
With some extra base damage. It took Victor quite a while before he got his first extra base hit.
Yeah, that first home run as well in the last homestand. In there, strike call. 0-2.
That's a good swing back fastball there thrown by Hahn at 93 miles an hour. And Victor thought it was inside, but the natural action on the pitch, the two seam, allowed it to catch the corner.
The left-hander Colomb is starting to warm up. With the pitch count rising now for Hahn, he is at 93. Victor waiting on an 0-2. What do you think has been the difference for Victor in this hot streak now compared to really the slow start that he got off to in April?
Just seems like his legs are much more underneath him. He's swinging the bat very effectively. He's got some great bat speed now. He didn't have that good bat speed earlier in the year. And the weather's starting to warm up. Victor really hasn't always been a fast starter, although he got off to a nice start last year.
Wave and a miss. That was a big swing there for Victor, down on strikes. 2 gone.
Yeah, one big curveball here by Jesse Hahn. In the last couple of innings, he's thrown a lot more breaking balls.
That'll bring up Justin Upton with 2 outs. Four strikeouts now for Hahn. Upton pops it up foul. Alonso will give it a chase, but it's going to drop back into the seats.
Jesse Hahn has made a really nice adjustment in the game. In the first 3 frames, first couple of frames, a lot of fastballs, and he was not having a lot of success. The last couple of innings, lots of changeups and curveballs. unfortunately for him, he's already thrown 95 pitches, so he's not going to be around much longer.
Hahn did his Daniel Norris impression there. He ran all the way over from the mound.
Now he's trying to catch his breath.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, and 1 on Upton. Hahn was originally drafted by the Rays, had Tommy John surgery his first year in their organization back in 2010. Here's the 0-1.
There are something like over 100 major league pitchers in the big leagues that have had Tommy John surgery.
Really?
Yep, some astronomical number that have had it in the past.
Just goes to show you how routine that surgery has become, even though it's anything but. Now the 0-2. Way outside. 1-2 on Upton.
And Hahn has been putting a lot of the hitters away the last couple of innings with that big, slow breaking ball. We'll see if that's what he wants to do to Jay up here. 1-2. If you're Justin, that has to be in the back of your mind, but you can't sell out for the breaking ball. You've got to be able to get to your fastball and then make an adjustment on the breaking ball if he hangs it.
Fastball up. 2-2. Upton a walk and a fielder's choice ground ball. Tigers were able to load the bases in the first inning, but left them loaded. Then they got 3 in the second. Now the 2-2. Driven high in the air to left. Down the line, and that ball is going to go foul. So Hahn now is about to deliver his 100th pitch. That last pitch has his catcher Vogt coming out to the mound.
Yeah, that hanging breaking ball. Yeah, tough times right now for Bob Melvin. Former Tiger Bob Melvin. He's managed the Arizona Diamondbacks. He's also managed the Seattle Mariners. He's been the manager here since 2011.
He has gotten the A's to the postseason 3 times.
Today was his bobblehead day, too.
Nice.
Bowmel.
Outside. Now the count goes 3-2, and that's going to start the runners here with 2 outs.
34, 25, 24 more here already.
That'll add up to a short night. Nothing doing at second. Romine let it off with a walk. He is standing at second base. Cabrera singled. Imagine that, Miggy having fun.
Yeah. It's a good thing when he's smiling. You know, his body feels good.
He'll be on the move here on 3-2. There they go. It's outside. Going to roll to the backstop. Romine rounding third, but will hold. So they're going to be loaded up.
And nowhere for Romine to go. He was running hard, but no need in forcing the issue.
And that is going to be it for Jesse Hahn. He will leave with the bases loaded.
101 pitches in 3 2/3.
Wow. Daniel Colon, the left-hander, comes in a wall side windows pitching change here in Oakland. We'll be back. Fourth inning, bases are loaded with 2 outs, and lefty Daniel Colom has come in now for the Athletics to face Alex Avila.
Colom has 3 pitches, got a fastball that gets up to 91, 92. He also throws quite a few sliders and quite a few curveballs, no changeup. He also is holding left-handed batters to a 179 batting average.
He's got Avila here, who is 0 for 2 tonight. Tigers have loaded him up again. Alex was in this spot back in the first and grounded out with 2 outs.
It seems like every time Alex steps in the batter's box, he's got himself sitting in a 1-0 count. That's why the numbers are way up. 375 with an OPS over 1100.
Outside, 2-0 on Avila. Romine, Cabrera, Upton, your base runners. Colom, born in St. Louis, went to high school in Scottsdale at Chaparral High School. Here's the 2-0. Swing and a miss.
Good pitch.
Hahn just struggled tonight in terms of his pitch count. 3 2/3, 6 hits. The runners are his responsibility. Avila waits on the 2-1. Low, 3 balls and 1 strike. Tyler Collins waiting on deck. Here's the 3-1. Avila fouls it off. 3-2. Full count. Tigers an opportunity to break this one open here in the 4th. Give themselves a little bit more breathing room. And he walked in ball 4. That'll force in a run. Romine touches home plate, and the Tigers lead 4-1.
Batting 7, the center fielder, number 18.
That run is charged to Hahn.
Collins.
It was close.
Pretty close, but it appeared to be up. Vogt tried to pull it back down in the strike zone, but Gabe Morales was not buying that.
Avila gets an RBI. Now a 3-run Tigers lead, and that brings up Tyler Collins. Strike 1 on Tyler.
You're off to a pretty nice night tonight, partner, on Pick the Stick.
Yeah, I'm doing pretty well.
Romine has tripled and driven in 2. He's walked and he's also scored 2. So you're looking real nice so far tonight.
So far, long way to go though, Rod. The 0-1. Ooh, tried to hold up and he went around. 0-2. Who did you have tonight again?
Jay up.
Jay up, that's right. Well, you got a couple
walks. I
walks.
got a couple points.
They'll take them.
I'm on the board.
0-2 on Collins. And Tyler takes low. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here are the Pick the Stick selections tonight. John Keating had the first pick, and of course he went with Cabrera like everybody does when they have the first pick.
Everybody's got some points tonight. Everybody's on the board tonight.
Yeah.
Yep. Everybody is on the board tonight. Even John Keating.
Which is a minor miracle in itself.
We got to leave John alone.
I know. Here's the 1-2. Sharp 1-hopper hit to second. Lowry to end the inning. Tigers get another run though on a bases loaded walk to Avila. Jordan Zimmerman throwing a pretty good ball game back out there in the 4th.
by pitch. Jordan Zimmerman made some adjustments in his last outing against the Chicago White Sox, and he's been able to carry that into the outing tonight. Lots of soft contact, some swings and misses. Jordan Zimmerman pitching like he pitched last year in the month of April.
Zim back to the mound now as we go to the bottom of the fourth. It'll be Chris Davis to lead things off for the Athletics. And he'll look at ball one.
And Chris Davis lined out to the warning track to right field his first time up. He and Miguel Cabrera the last couple of years have hit more home runs to right field than any other players in baseball. That's the kind of power both of these gentlemen have the opposite way. And what's strange about Chris, Morrow, and I was talking to Bob Melvin, the manager, about this today, is he steps in the bucket. He steps in the bucket and hits balls 400 feet the other way. It's
So
mind-boggling.
How does that work?
Well, he's got strong wrists, Bob told me, and he's got real nice, strong forearms, and that's where he generates most of his power.
Iglesias handles the ground ball. Davis is out.
Batting fourth.
You don't normally see guys hit with that kind of authority that have that, as you mentioned, step in the bucket type of hitting.
He makes this ballpark look small, and it's not easy to hit homers here.
No, not at all. Hit over 40 of them last year in this ballpark. Well, not all of them here, but half of his games in this ballpark. Here's Yonder Alonso. Fly to center field in his only at bat. Strike one on Alonso. Alonso was born in Cuba, but moved to the United States when he was 10 years old and eventually went to college at the University of Miami, where he was an outstanding player there. No balls, 2 strikes on Alonso.
Let's see if they want to climb the ladder with one fastball to see if they can get Alonso to swing at it. Leave the strike zone one time.
Zim surrendered the home run to Ryan Healy back in the second. That's it. Wouldn't leave the strike zone. 1-2 on Alonso. 305 this season through May 5th. Last year just a $1.79. Former #1 pick of the Reds. It'll dive low. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Alonso. Well, those drums don't stop, do they?
They do not stop. They have fun out there. In the playoff games the Tigers played here in those back-to-back seasons that went to Game 5, the atmosphere in this place was incredible.
A little cowbell going on out there, too.
Dude, they are all in.
Fly ball. Deep in the air to right field. Adducci will watch this one fly. Yonder Alonso has hit his 7th of the year, a solo shot.
And we just showed you that this time last year, Alonso with just 1 home run. But no first baseman in the American League has driven in more runs than him.
Batting fifth, third baseman, number 25, Ryan Healy.
That was a 92-mile-per-hour fastball that Alonso lifted and separated on.
Where did he hit that one? He hit it out yonder. And it's his 20th RBI, and all of a sudden a 2-run game now, 4-2. Here is Ryan Healy, who has the other home run for the A's. There's a strike called 0-1.
A little cutter there at 88 thrown by Zim.
When Zim gave up the home run to Healy in the second, he just pretty much buckled up and set him down 1-2-3. Struck out Vogt, got a couple of fly balls from Joyce and Rosales. He surrenders a 1-out home run here to Alonso. Healy's home run was a line drive to left field.
It left his bat at 106 miles per hour.
Mentioned Healy had some success last year. He was the A's organizational hitter. Made his major league debut in July and had himself a fine second half. Finished up at 305 with 13 home runs. Ball low. Two on Healy. Stephen Vogt waiting on deck. Seems like the Tigers should be leading by a lot more than 2 runs here tonight.
They have had a lot of traffic on the base paths. They have not cashed in on everything that has been given to them today.
The ball hit the center field. Displayable though as Collins goes to the warning track. 2
Now
gone.
batting the catcher, number 21, Stephen.
Now Stephen Vogt will step in. As you look at the numbers on Jordan Zimmerman, his ratio through 55 pitches. They believe in Stephen Vogt. Keating was out there last night.
That's exactly what they were chanting as well last night when Stephen was out. When Stephen was up.
I was talking to John before the game today, asking him about that last night. He said, "Man, it was an experience, dude." Hey, Keats fan, you were out there
Amongst them. With no bodyguard.
You made it back safely.
That's what I understand all of your experiences at Michigan State to be like. What I experienced in right field last night here.
That's what they're doing to Burn.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
They're into it. I mean, God bless them. They're into it. It is truly a lot of fun out there.
But imagine it be 100-fold like it was in the playoffs a few years
Right.
back.
Yeah, that would be
John, you were here then, weren't you?
Yes, I was.
hammered to center field, and it's going to be playable. Collins again to the warning track, right in front of the wall. They'll settle for 1 run, and the home run by Alonso. Yeah, and he's hit a couple of rockets in the ball game again tonight. A single in the third. He reached on an error in his first at bat. And Adduci bends out of the way from a ball inside.
Adduci played that ball off the wall like Seymour used to play him off the wall.
Oh, he sure did. Great play all the way around. The throw, the pick, the tag. 1 ball and 2 strikes on a Ducey. Swing and a miss. One of the few times he's not made hard contact.
I was talking to Chris Davis about that play today, and he said that his hand got in there, but he did come off the bag. And he said that Iglesias kept the tag on him.
Okay.
He said a couple of years ago he would have never been called out, but he came off the bag ever so slightly, and the cameras caught it, and that's why he was called out.
Can't hide from the cameras.
That is the most challenged play in the last couple of years in Major League Baseball. The play where the defender keeps the tag on you and the guy comes off the base.
Here is Iglesias. Ball 1 to Iggy.
And I have to say, I'm not all that fond of it either. I mean, it just seems sometimes a little cheesy if a guy just comes off barely that much. Yeah. You know what I mean? Just, but rules are rules.
Yeah, my opinion on the instant replay is constantly evolving. I mean, I like the thought. I embrace the thought of getting it right, but there are just some plays that are like that one last night. I mean, he was barely off the bag.
Yep.
Very hypersensitive on that call. There's a strike called on Iglesias.
Here's one look at that play from last night. Nice throw, wonderful pick. Hand gets in there, but that left arm comes off the bag. That's where they got him, right there. It came off about 2 inches.
Little chopper to first base. That is going to be a foul ball. One and 2. Iglesias has single and a flyout. Daniel Colomb came on in the 4th inning and issued a bases loaded walk, forcing in a run. There's a base hit to right for Iglesias.
2 strikes, man. He just puts the ball in play with authority.
Batting in the first position.
1 on, 1 out.
Number 17.
Hey, the Tigers host the Rangers Saturday, May 20th at 7:15. Former Tigers catcher Ivan Pudge Rodriguez takes part in the pregame Q&A session. It's in the Big Cat Court, and it starts at 5:45 p.m. as part of the Alumni Saturdays. For tickets, go to tigers.com or 866-66-TIGER. Hang out with Pudge.
The little Pudgy one. Going to the Hall of Fame. Cooperstown.
Here is Romine. Andrew walk, triple. Swing and a foul. Romine batting right-handed for the first time tonight. Tripled in 2 to get the Tigers on the board back in the 2nd. Here's the 0-1. If you joined us a little bit late tonight as you watch Liam Hendricks warm up, Ian Kinsler was out before the game today testing that hamstring, was running the outfield, and they felt they wanted to give him at least 1 more day. But I think Brad kind of indicated and hinted toward the fact that he wants to use the day off on Monday and then get him back in the lineup on Tuesday. Now, if the Tigers win tonight, that makes that decision a whole lot more easy.
Well, Ian is very valuable to the team, and his legs are a big asset to what he does every single night. So, unlike Miguel Cabrera, unlike a Victor Martinez, they could play and still hit and not necessarily be 100% in the lower half. But a guy like Ian, the position he plays and as much as he runs and moves, he needs to be pretty much 100% with his legs to really help this team the way that he can.
The good news is that Ian has reported that it is feeling better, so he's making progress.
This much we do know. He does not like sitting on the bench.
No. And if this was mid-September, he would be in the lineup. But it's still very early in the season. 2-2 on Romine. Castellanos due next. Tigers lead 4-2, but they've left a lot of men on base tonight. Colomb ready with the 2-2. Instead, back to first. Tigers had 11 hits last night, 7 more in this game tonight. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Romine retired, and there are 2 gone. Check in again with John Keating.
Mario, we have told you in the past that Tigers first base coach Omar Vizquel is an artist. Well, not only is he a creator of art, but he is also a lover of art. And earlier today, he spent some time at a gallery in nearby Berkeley that specializes in concert posters from the old Fillmore Theater, which hosted some of the great rock shows in rock and roll history, back to the days of the Jefferson Airplane and Carlos Santana. I'll have to tell you guys who those people are a little bit later because I know it was way before you. But this was the era of psychedelic rock, blacklight posters and the like, and Omar was there taking it all in.
There's a bouncing ball foul third base side. When Omar was with the Blue Jays at the end of his career, his walk-up song was Limelight by Rush. And so you're right, man, he was a rocker. He loves all types of music. He's into the arts as well. Very well-rounded individual.
Well, in baseball, you have so much free time at your disposal. It's good when you have other hobbies, other things to do to keep your mind off the game and other things.
Swing and a miss. A lot of guys like to play guitar.
Our colleague, Simon, plays the guitar. Learning how to play a guitar. Pass the time away.
Oh, and 2 on Castellanos.
I heard a story about you when we did those 3 things that we did not know about Mario and Pim, but there was something on there about music. What was that about music?
Well, I was named after the Italian tenor Mario Lanza.
Oh, okay.
It had more to do with my father, who was a Mario Lanza fan. Here's the 0-2, and it's high 1-2.
It's just like psychedelic rock.
It's pretty much the same genre, yeah.
But he was telling me those posters are going for tens of thousands of dollars.
Whoa.
Yeah.
And mere pocket change for you, Jonathan.
I'm not sure I would spend it on psychedelic posters. I lived through some of that era. I'm not sure I want to go back there.
Did you remember it?
I don't remember it anyway. So.
Ball high, 2-2. Nick Castellanos.
Colomb's got that good curveball. He was able to strike Andrew Romine out with that curveball that he buried inside to him. He has a fastball, he has a curveball, and he has a slider. No changeup. Not overpowering. For Castellanos, with 2 strikes, you got to make him get it up.
Fly ball right field. Joyce going back, still going back, over his head, up against the wall. Here comes Iglesias rounding third. They're going to send him home, and Nick has a double and an RBI.
Nick did get that curveball from Colomb, and he appeared to just be waiting for that ball at the top of the strike zone. That's the 2nd hit today that Castellanos has gotten on a hanging breaking ball. He got Jesse Hahn earlier, and that 80-mile-per-hour breaking ball over the head of Matt Joyce.
Second RBI of the game for Castellanos.
Nice day so far for Nicholas, too.
A single, a double, 2 RBIs. That's going to be it for Colomb. Tigers back up by 3, 5-2. And another wall side windows pitching change here in Oakland. And now Miguel Cabrera will step in. Liam Hendricks is going to come on and pitch for the A's.
And we saw Hendricks in the ball game last night. He's got a fastball that touches 95. He throws quite a few sliders as well. He'll use his curveball and a changeup, so it's rare for a reliever to have 4 pitches, but Hendricks is one that does.
Former Twin, also played for Toronto, KC. And Cabrera looks at ball 1. Tigers lead 5-2, RBI double by Castellanos. And now Miggy trying to drive him in. Cabrera's single and a walk tonight. He is 1 for 2. Swing and a foul. Cabrera now at 282, so that average continues to climb toward 300.
He's got pretty good numbers against Hendricks as well. So he sees the ball well off of him.
1-2.
Good fastball downstairs. 95 thrown by Hendricks. Miggy 4 for 7 in his career against Hendricks. If you weren't with us last time, we told you that really all year Miguel Cabrera has been using the big part of the ballpark. Lots of hits up the middle. Lots of hits lately to right field. Lots of power in that direction. Lined a single sharply to right field his last time up.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Cabrera is upset with himself. Can't believe he swung at that pitch. Inning over. Tigers get another run though. Tigers baseball tonight presented by Bell Tire. Tigers have given him another run to work with. It is now 5-2 in favor of the Tigers. Bottom 3 coming up. It'll be Joyce, Rosales, and Decker.
Tiger starters have been doing a real nice job the last week, and that has allowed the bullpen of the Tigers to get itself in shape. Tigers bullpen last 11 innings have not given up anything.
Hard hit ball. Miggy leaping catch. 1 out.
Here's our Comerica Bank game summary. Tigers took a 4-0 lead early in this contest. Romine with a triple into the right center field gap. The Oakland A's would come back and score 2 on a solo shot by Healy. Another solo shot by Alonso. That made the score 4-2. But in the last half inning, a double the opposite way by Nicholas Castellanos plates the 5th run of the tie for the Tigers, and that's where we sit. 5-2.
Rosales looks at a strike 0-1.
Yeah, but Brad was commenting on his starters and the fact that they've been so good lately. It's allowed his bullpen to catch his breath. It's allowed him to give guys days off. Guys are fresh down there, and he can kind of use guys the way that he wants to.
It really is a valid point, and one that I definitely agree with, because when those starters get knocked out early, it just throws everything out of whack. And when you have a couple of games in which your bullpen has to go early, that can throw you off for weeks.
Especially in the month of April, when the guys really don't have their sea legs underneath them yet.
Fly ball, center field. Tyler Collins been busy out there tonight, and there are 2 gone. Jim Now's retired 4 straight following the home run by Alonso.
Jeff Decker.
Here's Jeff Decker. Decker struck out in the 3rd, 0 for 1. Nice night here tonight in Oakland. Game time temp was in the 60s.
I think the weather's going to be real nice in Arizona. Not too hot. Very pleasant.
It's supposed to be like in the mid-70s there.
I heard that, which is unheard of this time of year.
What is it usually, about 90? 100?
At least about 90 this time of year. It's a dry heat, though.
Right. Like that makes a difference. Although some will tell you that the heat and humidity of the South in the middle of the summer can be even worse than what you get in Arizona.
No, there's a big difference. I mean, 100 degrees in Arizona is nothing like 100 degrees in Florida or Michigan or anywhere where there's a lot of humidity. Not even close.
So we're catching a break where the temps will be in the 70s.
Right.
Then we get out of town, it's going to get hot again.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a good seat, man. Front row. Fouled back out of play. 0-2 on Decker. Zim looking for the 1-2-3 5th inning. And a ball missing low and away, 1-2. Decker 387 at AAA and then was called up April 15th. Swing and a miss, and down he goes. It'll be a 1-2-3 for Jordan Zimmerman. 5 in the books here at Oakland. Tigers trying to make it 2 straight on this road trip. 5-2. Break brought to you by T-Mobile. What's going on around the big leagues?
What did Jason Hayward do?
Well,
2 double play assists from right field last night versus the Yankees. He's got a great arm anyway.
Gabriel Noah of the Orioles, the second player in franchise history to throw 6 or more scoreless innings in relief and get the win in his team debut. And Kendrys Morales, second player in franchise history to hit 2 lead-changing home runs late in games. There's a strike called on Martinez. Nope, he didn't go. 1 ball, no strikes on Victor. He'll be followed by Upton and then Avila. 5-2 Tigers have the lead. However, they have left 10 men on base in this game. Therefore, the A's are hanging around. Hendricks has that little thing in his delivery where he kind of pulls the ball out of the glove and shows you to it for a split second.
Right.
And then puts it back in and fires it home.
At about 95.
Yeah. That's, I don't know if that's a little bit of deception or what that is. Just a timing mechanism or something for him.
He looks like he spends a little time in the weight room, too. Usually pitchers don't have that type of a build where their arms look like they lift a lot of weights. But he looks like he spends time in the weight room lifting heavier weights, where most pitchers do not.
Liam was born in Perth, Australia. 28 years old. Ground ball to first and scooped up there by Alonso. 1 away.
Batting 5th, number 8, Justin Upton.
Here is Upton. Two walks in the ball game tonight for Upton. Hahn started the game, gave way to Colomb in the 4th, and then Hendricks came on in the 5th. Chopped the left side of the infield. Healy throws him out. 2 away now. We check in with John Keating.
Well, Mario, it's a holiday here in the Bay Area, or if it's not, it should be, because today is Willie Mays' birthday. The Say Hey Kid turned 86, and our great friend, the late great Ernie Harwell, who had seen all of the greats, always told me that Willie Mays was his all-time favorite baseball player. Who was yours?
Whoa, that's a pretty good question. All-time favorite, I'm going to have to go as a kid growing up in Detroit, watching, of course, the '84 Tigers team, which was, you know, the team that I kind of identified with the most. I'm probably going to have to go with Alan Trammell. He was the guy that I really loved watching him play, but there were so many on that Tigers team. What about you, Rod?
I don't really know if I had a favorite player per se, but I just go to Dodger Stadium a lot. I mean, I love Willie Davis in center field because I love the way he kicked his helmet off when he ran for triples. But I also love when the Pittsburgh Pirates came to town with Dave Parker and Willie Stargell and the teams that they had. I was more of a fan of a game. I don't think I really had a favorite player per se back then.
The thing that attracted me to Trammell was the fact that he just was kind of business-like. He didn't really play very flashy. He just got the job done, was an outstanding player. And I just love the way he went about his business.
And a better individual.
Keats, what about you, your favorite player?
Al Kaline.
Ah, good one.
And it's still great to see him. I mean, you still pinch yourself just seeing him around the ballpark.
Yeah, the Tigers are really fortunate having guys like Al around, Willie Horton.
And I think Ernie really loved Willie Mays. I've heard several people that have been in the game for a number of years. They echo those same sentiments that Willie Mays was the best player they ever saw play the game of baseball.
I should have said Rod Allen.
You should have, but it's too late now.
No, you ain't got to say that.
Now you're backpedaling. The 1-2, and Avila can't get it. It's going to go to the backstop, though, and Alex going to reach. What happened there?
Strikeout. Wild pitch.
That'll put a runner aboard with 2 outs.
Batting 7th, Tyler Collins.
Breaking ball right over the left shoulder of Stephen Vogt.
Avila tried to hold up. Once he was called out, he immediately bolted to first base. That'll keep the inning going now for Tyler Collins. Willie Mays made 20 All-Star games.
Yes, he did.
And won a plethora of Gold Gloves. Over 600 homers. I mean, what a player. Here's the 0-1. In there, a strike called. 0-2 on Tyler Collins.
Remember just a short time ago, the Tigers really did not have many left-handers in their lineup. The lineup was so right-handed dominant.
I do.
They've got 5 left-handed bats in their batting order tonight.
The 0-2. Oh, look out. That's going to go to the backstop, advance the runner.
That would be another wild pitch for Hendricks. And Vogt's like, man, oh, man.
Well, that's going to give the Tigers a chance to drive in another run here. Collins is hitless, flyout, strikeout, ground out. And a strike called, got him looking. They'll take care of the Tigers here in the 5th. Well, what a gorgeous night here in the Bay Area. The Golden Gate Bridge in the backdrop. Tigers up 5-2.
Hey fans, it's time to play the Hormel Make It Black.
Jordan Zimmerman back to the hill. It's 5-2, and the first ball is hit in the air to center field, shallow. Tyler Collins running in to make another play, and Rajay Davis is out on 1 pitch.
Batting second.
Collins has had a lot of work out there in center field.
Number 8.
He's got a lot of room to roam out there. Brad Ausmus was saying that the outfield that the Tigers will go to in a couple of days, Arizona, is one of the biggest outfields in all of baseball.
Tigers have 2 against the Diamondbacks and then 4 in Anaheim against the Angels.
The Diamondbacks are playing more this year like they were supposed to play last year. They're off to a really nice start. Only a half a game back of the Colorado Rockies. Their record going into play today. Arizona 18-13. Getting good pitching, good timely hitting. New manager, new management.
Woo! Chuck and duck.
Watch your lips.
Zimmerman falls to the ground on a rocket sizzling back up the middle.
I don't know how he got out of the way of this.
Number 2, Chris Davis.
He ducked.
First hit of the game for Lowry. And now 1 on, 1 out, and here's Chris Davis.
Be careful here. It's a dangerous bat with a lot of power. 9-game hitting streak for Chris Davis coming into play today against Tigers pitching. .351 batting average.
Davis, however, has also struck out in 16 straight games. He has not struck out tonight. He's 0 for 2, fly ball, ground out. Frankie Montas warming up for the Athletics.
I believe Davis is second in the American League in strikeouts. So he does swing and miss quite a bit.
Tap foul now, 1-1. Yonder Alonso waiting on deck. 3-run game. The A's need another base runner to bring the tying run to the plate. Now the 1-1. Look out, up and in. 2-1 on Chris Davis. .34 strikeouts this year for Davis. But he's also hit the 10 homers. Now the 2-1. Swing and a miss, 2-2. Zim tonight has given up 2 solo shots. That's it, Healy and Alonso. In fact, only 3 hits allowed by Zimmerman. Tigers have some activity of their own in the bullpen. Now Davis given time.
And for the first time all night, it appears that Zimmerman and Alex weren't on the same page.
Ball low. 3-2. 75 now for Zim. He's had a pair of 9 pitch innings. So his pitch count in pretty good shape here. 8 for the 6th. Swing and a miss, and down he goes. Davis strikes out.
That's 16 straight now, right?
17.
17.
Batting fourth, the first baseman, number 17.
Real nice pitch. Cut fastball to finish him off with. That ball darting down and away from the dangerous bat of Chris Davis.
Here is Chevrolet's most dependable player, Jordan Zimmerman, retiring 14 of the last 16 batters. He had 9 pitch innings in the 3rd and 5th. Look who's getting ready. Hall of Fame race right around the corner, Ricky says.
Ricky, like, come on.
Ricky blew away the competition last night. Ball 1 to Alonso. How can Ricky even see with sunglasses on at night?
Ricky don't need to see. Got the flat top going. Old school.
One ball and no strikes on Alonso. Swing and a miss.
I was talking to a Tigers bench coach, Gene Lamont, yesterday before the game, and Gene's been in baseball for 50 years. He said Ricky Henderson is one of the best players he's ever watched, ever managed against. Clearly the best leadoff hitter, but one of the best baseball players he's ever watched.
Well, they've named this field Rickey Henderson Field. There's a ball outside, 2-1.
When they named the field Rickey Henderson Field at the press conference, Rickey was telling a story about how he used to have to sneak into the field when he was young. Had to sneak in, didn't have money to get in, so he'd sneak in, and now the field's named after him.
That's an amazing story. Hammered in the air to right field. Aducey going to turn on this one, and it is gone.
Alonso is on straight fire these days.
A 2-run shot, his second home run in the game. And all of a sudden, it's tightened up considerably. 5-4 Tigers.
Alonso looks like a fastball at the top of the strike zone, and most left-handers are really good low ball hitters. They don't handle the ball upstairs all that well. But he jumped all over that ball and hit it right over the 362 sign.
Eight homers on the year now for Alonso.
He only hit all of 7 last year, so he's already hit more home runs this year than he did all of last year.
And in fact, he's just one away from his career high. There's a ground ball foul.
Nice effort down there by the ball boy. A lot of room to roam too.
Oh, 0-1 and Ryan Healy, who has also homered in this game, a solo shot in the second. Zim now has given up 3 long balls in this game. Fouled away.
You don't have to go back very far either. Well, the last time Jordan gave up 3 homers in a game, just a couple of starts ago against the Seattle Mariners in that 19-9 affair that the Tigers were able to win.
Zim gave up 11 hits, 5 runs in that game. First career 2-homer game for Yonder Alonso. Well, we kept telling people that the Tigers have stranded a ton of base runners in this game, and they've allowed the A's to hang around. Healy waits on a 1-2. Ground ball left side, base hit. It finds a hole, his second hit of the night.
And don't know what Brad is thinking. He's got Hardy, he's also got Green. Both guys are ready. And should he want to go to the bullpen?
And he does. It's going to be it for Zimmerman. He will leave with the tying run at first here in the 6th inning. It'll be a wall side windows pitching change. Blaine Hardy coming out of the Tigers bullpen. Sports Detroit is brought to you by Bell Tire. For tires and auto service, everybody needs a Bell Tire guy. And by Chevrolet, the most awarded car company 3 years in a row. Well, things have tightened considerably here in Oakland. It is now a 5-4 ball game. Jordan Zimmerman is out of the game. Blaine Hardy checks in. Pinder is pinch hitting for Vogt.
And Jordan only gave up 5 hits. Unfortunately for him, 3 of them home runs.
A weird game. The Tigers have stranded 11. There's a swing and a miss. Chad Pinder has hit safely in his last 4. Batting for Vogt. Ooh, 90 miles an hour, just missed. 1-2 on Pinder. He's got 1 home run this year, .304 batting average. Swing and a miss, and Hardy is able to dust him to end the inning. However, the A's have tightened it up. It's now a 1-run game.
For the ever good Hall of Fame race, featuring A's Hall.
Homer has made this a 1-run ball game as we go to the top of the 7th. It is now 5-4. Tigers lead by 1. Wallside windows pitching change. Ryan Dole is on now for the A's.
And Dole with a .422 earned run average. He's got a fastball that gets up to 93. He throws a lot of sliders, 41% sliders, and a changeup that he will use to the left-handers. As a matter of fact, he's already got that slider grip.
And Maxwell, the new catcher now. Vogt out of the game. They pinch hit for him. Adduci leads it off. Single and 3 at bats for Jim Adduci.
And when a guy throws 40% sliders, if you're the Tigers, you can go up there and sit on that pitch a couple of times early in the count.
2-0.
On Adduci. Dole appeared in 70 games last year out of the bullpen for the A's. There's a strike called, 3-1. Big leagues each of the last 2 years, and an ERA of 2.42 was really good out of their pen last year. Nearly a strikeout per inning. And another one that drops in for a strike. 3-2. Wilson in the Tigers pen. It's going to be a Ducey, Iglesias, and Romine here in the Tigers 7th. Here's the 3-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. And Ducey was ahead 3-0. Goes down on strikes.
Batting ninth.
It'll bring up Iglesias.
Shortstop, Jose.
Well, Tigers fans, if you can't catch the games on TV, you can stream them live on your mobile device with Fox Sports Go. Download the app and take Fox Sports Detroit and Tigers baseball with you wherever you go.
I got 10 strikeouts tonight for the Tigers.
Well, that's got to be pretty close. I've got to add them up. Yeah, I got 10 too.
Yeah.
Ball one high to Iglesias.
It's usually the Athletics that are striking out at least 10 times in a game. They struck out 10 times last night, did Oakland. And that means it was the 9th time in the last 11 games they punched out as a team more than 10 times.
Unreal. Strike on Iggy, 1-1. Romine on deck. Tigers trying to rebuild their lead. They're up by 1. Popped up and headed back out of play. Back behind the Tigers dugout, rattles around. The attendance here tonight, 16,651.
A little smaller crowd than last night. The Warriors were playing on television tonight, so I think a lot of folks kind of stayed home to watch Mr. Curry and the boys.
It's a good call there. The 1-2. And Iglesias out on strikes.
It's starting to look more and more like the NBA championship is going to be Cleveland and the Warriors again.
Well, that's what Stan Van Gundy told us on the air the other night. We had him in booth. He felt that'll be the matchup again.
That'll be the 3rd consecutive year.
Here's Romine. Triple walk. He has knocked in a couple. Scored a couple. Here's the 1-0. On the outer edge, 1-1 on Romine.
Dole loves that slider. He can throw it to the back door on the outside part of the plate. He can come through the front door with the slider as well.
One and 2 on Romine. Dole was a 32nd round pick. And here he is in the big leagues. Signed back in 2012. Got to the major leagues a couple of years ago in 2015. Out of Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Played his college ball at UNC Asheville. Here's the 1-2. Two RBIs tonight for Castellanos, 2 for Romine, and 1 for Avila. Little chopper to the right side of the infield. That'll be an easy play for Lowry, and Dole gets him 1-2-3. Coming up, the Consumers Energy 7th inning stretch from Oakland. Bottom of the 7th here at the Coliseum in Oakland. Mario and Bemba, Rod Allen, certainly glad to have you with us here tonight. And Jordan Zimmerman at times tonight, Rod, looked really good. Like the same guy we saw last time out, but he was bitten by the home run ball.
He was. Alonso hit a couple of home runs off of him and also gave up one to Healy. Other than that, he was pretty good. Now it's up to Tigers bullpen to make sure they still win this game tonight.
Yeah, the Tigers will try and protect a 1-run lead late in this ball game. Tigers have gotten a couple of big performances offensively to build the lead. Now we'll see if they can hold on. That's a little flare that just lands foul off the bat of Matt Joyce. Nearly dumped one down the line in left field. It'll be Joyce, Rosales, and Decker due up here against the lefty, Blaine Hardy.
More than likely, Hardy will see one batter, and then Brad will go to Alex Wilson.
Alex right now just watching the action from the bullpen. He's ready to go. Five runs, 8 hits for the Tigers. 4 runs, 5 hits, 2 errors for Oakland. Ball low and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Joyce hit a bullet his last time up. It was headed down the right field line, but Miguel Cabrera made a leaping catch. High fly ball, left center field. Collins again to the warning track. 1 gone. That'll bring out Brad Ausmus.
Number 16, Adam Rosales.
That's also going to bring in Wilson. Hardy facing 2 batters out of the bullpen for the Tigers, retiring both of them. And here comes Wilson trotting in from the bullpen in right field.
And then came home to Detroit, and guys were teasing him in the dugout that now he's got bragging rights because he's got service time. You get the big piece of chicken, they said to Jim Bedusi when they were around the dinner table.
Well, Jim Bedusi is certainly going to add to that total of games played in the major leagues as he continues to swing a hot bat. Wilson now will face Rosales. 1 out, nobody on. We're in the bottom of the 7th. And Rosales looks at a strike.
And nice little bender there. First pitch thrown by Alex Wilson.
Two fly ball outs, 1 to right, 1 to center for Rosales. One ball, 1 strike. Tiger bullpen recently has done some really good work. They'll be counted on again tonight, but this time protecting a very slim lead.
And starters have made sure when they have turned the ball over to the bullpen, they've getting the ball to mostly the back end, which has pretty much been good all year.
Here's the 1-1. Line drive caught by Iglesias at short. Hard hit ball, 2 gone. Well, how good has the bullpen been in the last 5?
Now batting,
This good.
number 37.
11 1/3 no runs. And opponents are batting just $171 against him.
That's good to see, because Brad was getting tired of answering questions every single night about his bullpen, but they were struggling.
Here's Decker. 2 strikeouts tonight for Decker. He pops up a bunt. Here comes Cabrera, sliding play in foul ground.
Real nice play, big fella.
Miguel Cabrera picks it off the turf. It'll be a 1-2-3 inning. 7 in the books. Tigers still lead by 1, and a nice defensive play for Cabrera. Tigers baseball tonight, presented by That Catch and Bell Tire. And celebrate Polish American Night, May 19th. Tigers battle the Rangers at 7:10 p.m. Special ticket packages include a Detroit Tigers Polish American Night hat and are available exclusively at tigers.com/Polish. Another pitching change here in Oakland. Ryan Madsen comes on.
And Madsen with good numbers, 174 earned run average, big arm, got a fastball that gets up to 94, 95. Also a curveball and a changeup.
Tigers have Castellanos leading it off. Then Cabrera and V-Mart. First one is up and in, 1-0. Dole had a 1-2-3 seventh and hands things over now to Madsen. Two out of 4 tonight for Nicholas, 2 RBIs. In there is strike called, 1-1.
Madsen's a nice story. He basically was out of baseball for 2 years, 3 years really, 2012, 2013, and 14. He signed in 15 with Kansas City, had a great year with the Kansas City Royals, and then parlayed that into a 2-year contract with the Oakland Athletics. Nearly did not pitch in 3 straight years.
Yeah, that year with KC, he appeared in nearly 70 games, had an ERA a little over 2, which got him the contract with the A's, and he had 30 saves last year.
In 2013, he pitched in Inland Empire for 1 game.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
He did throw the ball very well in 15 in Kansas City.
Now the 1-2. Oh, he chased. 96 up at the letters, 1 gone.
Ooh, that's a lot of punch outs tonight for the Tigers.
Batting third, First baseman, number 24, Miguel.
We'll bring up Cabrera. I got 12 for the
I do too.
Miggy struck out in his last at bat. He's 1 for 3 plus a walk.
As a matter of fact, everybody in the Tigers lineup has struck out at least one time tonight, with the exception of Justin Upton. He's my guy tonight, too. I ought to get a couple of points for that, right?
Well, no, you don't. But you do get the 2 points for the 2 walks.
They're lining them up.
Tigers have 8 hits and 5 for Oakland. Cabrera's had some fairly lengthy at bats tonight. Swing and a miss. So Madsen at mid-90s, 95, 96. He's ahead of Cabrera. Madsen back in 2011 had 32 saves for the Phillies, his career high. That'll get back out of play. Same 2 teams wrap it up tomorrow here, the final game of this series. Tigers enjoy an off day on Monday in Arizona. Now again, Madsen taking a long look, and now time is called. Tigers at one point led 5-2. Then Yonder Alonso hit a 2-run homer to make it 5-4. Here's the 1-2. It's like Justin Wilson tuning up in the Tigers pen. The 8th inning will be his. Swing and a miss. He dusted Miguel Cabrera again up with the letters at 95. 2 gone. Here is the upcoming matchup presented by Wallside Windows. Here is the matchup tomorrow. Norris and Sonny Gray.
Man, Sonny Gray pitched 1 time this year. He was on the disabled list for the majority of the season. And 4 strikeouts, 2 walks in his debut. Daniel Norris checks in 2-2 with a 4 ERA.
Now Victor Martinez with 2 outs. Bouncing ball back up the middle into center field, base hit.
Do it, Victor.
They cannot find a defense to stop him.
Yeah, he beat the shift again.
It's his 2nd hit in this ball game.
Number 8, Justin.
I think Victor went up there looking to hit the ball right past the shortstop. Was this his 3rd or 4th hit in the series beating the shift? 2 of them last night.
It'll keep the inning going now for Upton. And Jay Up looks at the ball inside. 1-0.
Madsen's got a good arm. 95 with a good slider, good changeup, no curveball.
You got strikeouts of Castellanos and Cabrera. Upton 2 walks tonight.
Bouncing ball to short. Rosales will flip to the second baseman for the force. Side retired. No runs, 2 out hit. Here comes the bottom of the 8th.
The 1-800 call Sam call of the game. Jordan Zimmerman got off to a pretty nice start here tonight. He was throwing the ball well. He had some swing and miss stuff. Fastball 93, changeup 85, cutters at 88, but he gave up 3 home runs, 1 to Healy and 2 to Alonso on balls that were flat and over the heart of the plate. So I'm sure he would like to have those 3 pitches back. Those are probably 3 of the poorest pitches he threw on the night.
Tigers go back to the bullpen. Justin Wilson comes in now. Rajai Davis leads it off as we go to the bottom of the 8th.
Yeah, awesome start to the season for Justin Wilson. Power arm. A fastball gets up to 97, 98, 19 strikeouts. He's only walked 4 this year. The other numbers are awfully impressive as well.
And Davis swings right through it. 1 ball, 1 strike on the A's leadoff man. He's 0 for 3 in this game. He'll be followed by Jed Lowry and then Chris Davis.
Yeah, the Oakland leadoff spot has been a troublesome spot in the batting order for Bob Melvin so far this year. Rajai spent some time on the disabled list. And the other 4 guys that have held that spot down for at least a day or 2, they haven't done very well. There are the numbers. 190 from the leadoff spot. Second lowest in the majors.
Here's the 2-1. Strike called on the outside corner. Davis not so sure. And looks like Justin got the benefit of that call. 2-2. Now Wilson with the 2-2. Didn't go. 3-2 on Rajai Davis. Don't want to walk him. You know all too well. There's Lowry waiting on deck. Fly ball. Shallow left for Upton. 1 gone. MLB.com at bat, your #1 mobile app for live Tigers baseball. Stay connected with a fully customizable experience. Get Tigers home screen icons, app features, as well as game day, live game video highlights, radio broadcast, statcast news, and more. MLB.com at bats. Get it today. 1 gone in the A's 8th inning. Here is Jed Lowry. Lowry is single, a walk, and a run scored. We'll head back to the seats. Miggy giving chase. Oh, and 1 on Lowry. .301 batting average right now for Lowry. Wilson replacing Alex Wilson. Blaine Hardy has thrown in this game as well. Strike called on the inside corner. 0-2. Montas and Casilla the closer. Should the A's take the lead. The 0-2. A smidge off the plate.
It's been a strike all night for the most part.
Here's the 1-2 now. You think umpires have a tendency maybe to squeeze that strike zone a little bit as the game goes into the later innings?
I think they are being scrutinized so heavily these days on everything that they do that they try to do the best that they can and not giving too much room on the corners. East to west, I think, I mean, north and south, I think they're a little bit more liberal up and down, but east to west, very few times is that ball called a strike off the plate these days.
2-2 on Lowry.
It used to be back in the day you had National League, you had American League umpires. Now they're all under one umbrella, under Major League Baseball. And you used to have guys that had certain strike zones. And when you came to the park 15, 20 years ago, when you had could be a low ball umpire, could have been a guy that was liberal on the outside part, but you knew because they were consistent.
Wilson trying to finish off Lowry here with Davis on deck. Ooh, he missed again. That one inside. Now the count goes full 3-2.
Everything has either been way in off the plate to Lowry or off the plate outside.
Heading down the line and foul. Cabrera on a dead sprint, won't get there.
And Miggy getting his sprints in tonight, as is Andrew Romine.
You literally cannot give up on anything that it heads to foul territory. The count stays on Lowry. 5-4 Tigers lead. We're in the 8th. K-Rod thinking I might be coming into this game. At least that's the plan. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Lowry is out of there. 2 gone.
He finally able to get Lowry with a mid-90s fastball.
Batting third, number 2, the designated hitter.
You can see the grip. 4-seam fastball across the seams, straight over the top.
Two gone now for Davis. 0 for 3. He struck out in his last at bat. Ball 1 high. Davis now has struck out in 17 consecutive games. He's got that hitting streak against the Tigers in jeopardy too, a 9-gamer. Healthy cut there.
Chris's dad played pro ball as well. His dad's name is Rodney. His dad also scouted in the Seattle Mariners organization for the Arizona Diamondbacks as well. So Chris grew up in baseball.
Now the 1-1. Like Coco Crisp used to do, he tucks that chin on his front shoulder.
What it allows him to do, it allows him to get both of his eyes focused on the pitcher. And it also gives you a really good read on breaking balls. A lot of times you see guys kind of looking out the corner of their eye at the pitcher, but not Davis, not Chris. Both eyes are focused on the pitcher.
And he got him, strike 3. Davis is caught looking at Justin Wilson. A 1-2-3 8th with 2 strikeouts. Let's go to the 9th. A 5-4 ball game as we go to the top of the 9th inning now. The Tigers will face a new pitcher. Frankie Montas has come on.
Yeah, Montas has some big numbers as far as the earned run average is concerned. It's approaching 7. And the whip is approaching 2. 15 strikeouts. He's walked 6 in the 11 games he's pitched in so far this season.
Here is Alex Avila to get it going here in the 9th. And Avila looks at ball 1. Alex had a bases loaded walk in the 4th inning, driving in a run.
Montas has a big arm. He's got a fastball that will get up in the upper 90s. Also a slider and an occasional changeup.
Back him out of there. 2 balls, no strikes. Montas, a native of the Dominican Republic, was in the minor leagues last year. Fouled back out of play.
100 miles an hour in that last fastball. They've got some good arms. Casilla, their closer, throws in the mid to upper 90s. We saw Madsen tonight. He's 95 and above.
Prior to this year, Frankie in the big leagues only for about a handful of games with the White Sox in 2015. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Fly ball center field. Davis on the run, still going back, track, and in front of the wall to make the catch.
Batting 7.
Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by Comerica Bank, a part of Detroit and the community since 1849. Your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Visit ChevyDetroit.com. See why Chevy drives the Motor City. And by Wallside Windows. We can do that. We are the factory. One away now, and here is Tyler Collins. Ball one from Montas at 99 miles an hour. Tyler tonight is 0 for 4, couple of punch outs. Fouled away. Francisco Rodriguez warming up in the Detroit bullpen. And the Tigers closer will come on in the 9th inning. Alonzo Healy and Maxwell due up. Collins pops it up. Right side of the infield. Lowry to the grass. 2 gone.
And Rodriguez is going to have to go after the couple of guys that have done all the damage tonight for the A's, Alonzo and Healy. They both have homered. They've driven in 4 between them.
Here's Jim Adduci. Singled, scored a run in the 3rd. Swing and a miss. The A's are 0-15 this year when trailing after 8.
That was a 91-mile-per-hour changeup. Some guys don't even throw their fastballs at 91.
Well, what do you like to get as far as separation between your fastball and your changeup?
At least 8 to 10 miles of separation as far as the miles per hour concerned. But you've got to have that same arm speed. And that's what sells the off-speed pitches. It looks like a fastball coming out of your hand. But because the way you grip the ball, if it's a changeup, you grip it in the palm of your hand, and when you throw it, and you still throw it hard, but because of your gripping it a certain way, it goes down to about 10 miles an hour.
3-1 on Adduci. Took a rip at 100 miles an hour. 3-2. Two out, nobody on. We're in the 9th. Tigers lead by a run. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Fouled it away. Whoa, 101 that time from Montas.
And Mick Billmeyer, pitching coach, the bullpen coach for the Tigers, down there watching Frankie get loose.
Pulled foul. I don't know, I always figure when guys can throw 101 miles an hour, they're kind of reluctant to throw anything else because they kind of feel they can overmatch guys.
Right.
Alonzo, Healy, Maxwell, that's the trio due up against K-Rod. He fouled off another.
It's a nice spoil there by Adduci. 100-mile-per-hour fastball on the black outside. You're not going to do a whole lot with it. And so you try to foul it off, and he was able to do that.
Great at bat here for Adduci. That was 101 that he spoiled. Ooh, this is a battle right here. A 9-pitch at bat. And another one fouled back out of play at 101. He just keeps pumping him back in there. And Adduci keeps fouling him off. And he walked him.
That's good at bat by Ducey.
Ducey wins that battle. 2-out base runner now for Iglesias.
Iglesias has had a nice day. He singled a couple of times, and he scored 2 runs.
.243 average now for Iglesias. When you have guys that throw triple digits, and in Montas's case, he's been in baseball, pro ball for 7 years now, but only a handful of big league games. I mean, what typically is the issue with those guys?
Well, fastball obviously is straight, even though it's 100 miles an hour. If you can't get anything else over the plate consistently, guys at this level can hit a 100-mile-per-hour fastball. You look at his numbers, they're not very pretty. He's given up quite a few runs already this year. He's pitched 15 innings, he's given up 12 earned runs, and they're hitting .323 against him. And he throws 100 miles an hour.
Right. Well, he's gotten ahead of Iglesias here 0-2. Almost had it picked off, had him leaning the other way.
Very important for him to find another pitch that he can be comfortable with, whether it be the slider or whether it be the changeup, because if you can start to throw the other pitches with consistency, then that will make that fastball a swing and miss pitch for him.
.5-4 Tigers lead. We are in the 9th. Headed back toward the seats. Alonso can't get there. Should Iglesias reach, they turn the lineup over to Romine. So Montas now has had 21 pitches after retiring the first 2 batters. Fairly quickly, too. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Iglesias is gone, and the Tigers are done here in the 9th. Frankie coming on and protect the 1-run lead. Now for Detroit.
And Rodriguez looking for his 8th save of the season. His fastball goes anywhere from 87. He might touch 90, but they're usually 89 miles an hour. He does have an elevated earned run average. He's given up quite a few runs. Hopefully he goes out there and gets the job done tonight. Well, just like we promised you earlier in the game, it's Miller time, and it is always brought to you by Miller Lite. Now, Castellanos had already got himself a hanging breaking ball earlier in the game from Jesse Hahn and ripped the ball to left field. He also hit another double later in the contest on a breaking ball against a left-hander.
So the Tigers need 3 more outs to win the first 2 games in this series. It'll be Yonder Alonso to lead things off.
Yep.
Alonso, Healy, and Maxwell here in the 9th inning. Big night for Alonso, a pair of home runs.
And first time in Alonso's career, he's homered twice in the same game.
He is responsible for 3 of their 4 runs tonight.
And Frankie's got that good changeup.
And Alonso looks at a strike, 0-1.
First pitch, 90 thrown by K-Rod.
Well, they've said in his last couple of appearances the velocity has had an uptick or 2.
And that makes the changeup that much more deceptive when you've got 6 or 7 miles of differential between the 2 pitches. That's about what Frankie has. He also has that real slow curveball.
Now it's 0-2.
I like the fact that Avila is setting up on the outside part of the plate. Alonso's already proven that he's got power to right field. 2 homers in that direction.
Alonso is 0 for 6 career against K-Rod. Here's the 0-2. Little chopper foul. He was out in front that time. Alonso now has 8 home runs this year, 1 shy of his career high.
All 8 of his home runs pretty much to the pull field. No home runs to left on the first 3 pitches of this at bat thrown by Frankie. Avila, every single pitch setting up away. They want to try to make him hit the ball in that direction.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out.
That's a huge out right there. Big league changeup, too.
Batting in the 5th position.
First pitch of the pitch sequence to Alonso was a 90-mile-per-hour fastball, and he finishes him off with that real nice changeup. Nice arm action at 85 miles an hour.
There's Ryan Healy. Single and a homer tonight for Healy. Home run came against Zimmerman. Back in the 2nd, a solo shot. Ball 1. Outfield deep on Healy. Infield back. And Nick guarding the line at 3rd base. Here's the 1-0. Strike called, 1-1.
There's Nick. Ain't nothing getting by him down that left field line. The outfielders are also playing very deep, and all the infielders are pretty much playing around the infield as deep as they possibly can go.
Ball 2 outside. Maxwell waiting on deck. Here's the 2-1 to Healy. Driven on a line to left field. Jay up. Makes the catch right at the warning track.
That boy hits the ball hard, Mario.
Well, his home run was kind of like that back in the 2nd, only he lifted it and drove it over the wall.
This is an absolute laser off Healy's bat. Jay Up did a nice job there going back on that ball. Staying on the balls of his feet.
He's down to the final out. Here is Maxwell stepping in, his first at bat. Came in as a defensive replacement. And he is the last chance tonight for the A's. And a strike called.
Frankie has thrown 9 pitches, 7 strikes. He's only missed the strike zone with a couple.
Here's the 0-1. Maxwell didn't like that call. Frankie got the benefit, now 0-2. One strike away for the Tigers. Here's the 0-2. Bouncing in. Should Maxwell find a way to get on, Matt Joyce due up next. Same two teams tomorrow. Here's the 1-2. Low, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Maxwell has done a nice job on the last 2 pitches of laying off that changeup in the dirt. And try it one more time, see if he can lay off of it again.
Two and 2 on Bruce Maxwell. Now time called. Maxwell will step out. Frankie getting a strikeout and a line out for the first 2 outs here in the 9th. And he missed again. Now 3 and 2. So Maxwell, who was in the hole 0-2, finds himself up 3-2. And they're still banging the drums on right field. Two pitch. Swing and a miss. Oh, he got a piece of it. Barely fouls it off. And Maxwell still kicking. So we'll do it again. This will be the 15th pitch now for Frankie. And again the 3-2. Maxwell making Frankie work. Frankie trying to get his 8th save of the season. Ten of the 15 he has thrown are strikes in this inning. Bouncing in, ball 4, and the tying run is on. A 2-out walk.
Batting in the 7th position, the right fielder.
He's going to bring up Matt Joyce. So the A's still have life. Tying run at first base with 2 outs. 5-4 Tigers in the 9th. Matt Joyce 0 for 3, couple of fly balls, and he lined out to the first baseman Cabrera. There's a heck of an at-bat there by Maxwell. He fell behind 0-2 quickly.
Matt Joyce has never faced Frankie.
Swing and a miss, 0-1.
Looked like Joyce trying to end the game with a home run. Joyce does not have a hit in the series.
He is 0 for 8. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Driven down the right field line, and that ball is going to drop. Ducey cuts it off. Maxwell coming to third. They're going to stop him there. It's a double for Joyce. Ducey quickly got to that ball, holding the runner at third, and now it's second and third, 2 outs. Tying run at third, winning run at second.
Matt Joyce has never faced Frankie before. Frankie got ahead with the first pitch changeup and then came back with another one, but this one stayed up. And Matt Joyce ripped the ball down the right field line. Nice job by Ducey getting there and stopping and getting the ball back on its way toward home plate, which forced Maxwell to stop at third.
Here is Adam Rosales. Second and third, 2 outs. K-Rod got the first 2 batters, then a walk and a double. Rosales singles to left field. Here comes the runner rounding third. Joyce coming home, and Oakland wins.
Boy, oh boy, you gotta be kidding me.
A 2-out rally in the 9th for the A's.
Oakland was 0-15 this year when leading after 8 innings. Tough loss tonight.
Unreal. A 2-run single for Adam Rosales, the game winner with 2 outs in the 9th.
The walk was awfully costly to Maxwell. He got ahead of Maxwell, no balls and 2 strikes, and walked him.
A's win tonight. Now we send you to the Coliseum Studios. Christian Keith standing by with Tigers Live postgame.
Swing, a line right, base hit to left. Maxwell scores. Taking a 10